What is up, YouTube? My name is RSMario here, bringing you another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC video. Alright, so we got an interesting video today. We have some new leaks from Riddler Khu that reference several anime. So we got anime references today. I haven't talked about anime on the channel in a while. I do have a couple of anime videos I want to do, so if you're interested in that, tell me in the comments down below. You know what I'm saying? But we have that. We have some more data mine stuff from Matt and Central Pokemon leaks. So it's gonna be a pretty interesting video today. So of course, if you want to continue getting videos like this from me, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell button, do all that good stuff that YouTube requires you to do to continue getting videos from me. Follow me at twitter.com/rsmario128. Like the video tweet, share the video tweet, and I will shout you out like today's lucky contestant, Janet Nelson and Nyla Moody. Thank you for liking my video tweet. You know what I'm saying? You can check both of them out on their social medias on Twitter as well. Let's get into the video. Alright, so we're getting on right on into it. So, Riddler Khu drops a brand new Khu Clue. Basically says, new clue, whatever that happens to be, enjoy. So, of course, I threw it into the Google Translate, and I thought it was Japanese. Turns out it was Chinese. So, you know, that's something that happened. But it translated from Chinese as heavenly clouds. So, but here's the thing. Now, when you search it in Google regular, it comes up as Kusanagi no Tsuragi, or Tsurugi. Kusanagi no Tsurugi. Or basically like the grass cutter sword. Now, of course, if you're a Naruto fan, like myself, you would know what this is. This is the sword that Sasuke uses. This is the sword that Itachi had. No, I think was it Itachi? No, I think Orochimaru had this sword in his fight with Itachi. But eventually, Sasuke ends up using the sword throughout the series. But essentially, this is actually a real sword. It's a part of the Japanese imperial regalia. So it was a sword, a mirror, and a little Kamakata jewel. And of course, the little jewels are all over Japanese anime and video games. Like, we just saw them in Tears of the Kingdom. So they're everywhere as far as Japanese like culture and media. You know what I'm saying? But this actually was a real sword. So of course, what does this have a connection to Pokemon? We don't really know. But we do know that the sword itself was lost for a time period during the Battle of Dandaura. You know what I'm saying? Which was a real battle. You know what I'm saying, in the Japanese Civil War, which I actually cover in my review of the Hikai story. So I told you we had some anime references today. So if you want to learn more about that, you can, you know, check out the review of the Hikai story. But yeah, so that was Riddler Khu's clue. So more than likely we're gonna have like another deep cut to Japanese history and culture in Pokemon. But it's interesting to see how this is going to relate to the Blueberry Academy. That is something I could not think of something that would tie this to Pokemon or what we already know. So let's hope we get a trailer soon that we can solve that riddle. So Q drops some more information. He says a reminder that the 4 apples are not in the Blueberry Dex. Realize that it kind of resembles the Bloodmoon. So 4 apples, a lot of people are thinking that this is related to like Applin and Dipplin. So there might be another set. So maybe instead of, you know, I mean, we've already kind of revealed that, you know, Dipplin evolves. So maybe there's another one. Maybe there's like a cross evolution. So maybe there's like 2 evolutions. You know what I'm saying? Because that will make 4 apples. So it will be Applin, then Dipplin, and then the 2 things that Dipplin could evolve into under specific circumstances. So that ties into the next one, which basically Centro says, and this is coming from Matt, the data miner, that Perrin will return for another side quest in the Indigo disc. So basically, maybe that as far as the Dipplin evolution, maybe it's a Bloodmoon Ursaluna type of situation. So Dipplin evolves one time, but then there's going to be a special version of that Pokemon that's kind of like Bloodmoon Ursaluna, like a one-off. which would kind of work, especially seeing as though they seem to be like profiling this Pokemon a lot. It would be interesting if they went ahead and gave it like a one-off special, you know, evolution type of deal. I can see them doing that. You know what I'm saying? I can see Perrin coming back in the DLC, the second part of the DLC for another Bloodmoon mission, this time in Blueberry Academy. All right, so the next part we have here is more anime references from Riddler Khu. So Riddler Khu says him, and so he has a picture of Aizen from Bleach. Now, it's been a long time since I actually watched Bleach. All right, I'm not quite caught up on Bleach, so I haven't really been watching the 1,000-year Blood War. But I do know Aizen. Okay, so Aizen was the main antagonist from the first half of Bleach, right? You know what I'm saying? Arancars, Espada, Hanko Mundo, all that kind of stuff. I remember that part. Okay, all right. So he's the main bad guy from the first part. So he's like, if I can, let's see if I can give an example. If you haven't watched Bleach, if you watch Naruto, Aizen's kind of like Orochimaru. All right, because Orochimaru was like the big bad of part 1 of Naruto for the most part. And so of course he now the way this connects to Pokemon is, well, Aizen was a good guy. He was in the Soul Society. He was a Soul Reaper, and then he heel turns because he wants, did he want to be like king of the Soul Society, or like he wanted to take over something? I can't remember what it was. You know what I'm saying? But he heel turns, all right, and basically becomes the biggest antagonist in the show for a while. And so a lot of people are saying that this is a reference to Kirin. You know what I'm saying? So Kirin is probably going to heel turn at some point. We've seen in the trailer that this dude is presented in this kind of angry light. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be in Blueberry Academy. A lot of people are thinking that he's gonna be the champion of the BB League, and he's gonna be like the big final boss as far as Pokemon trainers go for Blueberry Academy. All right, I can kind of see that. You know what I'm saying? He wants to get stronger. He wants more power. He didn't like losing, and so, you know, he's going to kind of heel turn because of that. You know, how many stories have we had where the pursuit of power sends somebody over the edge? So I can definitely see that happening to him, and maybe this is a reference to that. Like, you know, he's going to end up like Aizen, which, if that's the case, that could mean this story might get a little bit more interesting. All right, so then we have another anime reference from Riddler Khu. Riddler Khu is just all over the anime. Riddler Khu is a weeb. All right, he's gone from a Pokemon nerd to a weeb. So we got another anime reference from Riddler Khu. This time he is referencing a character from later in the Bleach story, Giselle. So like I said, I have not watched 1,000-Year Blood War. I actually had to kind of spoil myself a little bit in order to research this character. But apparently this character makes zombies. Character is called Giselle, and she has the power to make zombies. Think, like, again, for another Naruto reference, think like Edo Tensei. You know what I'm saying? Edo Tensei basically allows the user to bring back people from the dead as long as they have like a bit of their DNA or a piece of their body. They can bring back somebody from the dead and then kind of use them as their own kind of battle puppet, like, you know, to like fight people, essentially. Just send them into battle for themselves as their own henchmen. And Giselle can kind of sort of do that with her enemies. So this actually references something that Matt found in the Pokemon code, and he says that Pokemon Scarlet Violet 2.0.1 patch also includes text entries for text you'll see during battles, which include BB League, Kirin, Kodakakami, which we're going to get into that one a little bit later, Zombie Man, Zombie Old, Zombies, Nemona, Arvin, Penny, and Dokutaro. So essentially, I'm thinking that there's going to be a character that might be able to bring people back from the dead. I think that's a bit much for a Pokemon game. You know what I'm saying? But since, I mean, so many people here have, like, you know, dead parents or lost parents or missing parents, you know, maybe there is somebody that can do that, or maybe it's going to involve time travel in some way, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe somebody's soul is stuck in like Area Zero or something to that extent, and somebody finds a way to bring them back. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of stuff going on in the story of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet that could facilitate a zombie-like thing. But, I mean, the fact that zombie is straight up in the code, that's kind of crazy. So that means that something is going to be called a zombie, which, okay. Pokemon zombie, Poke Zombies, okay. Last little bit of information we have here is Riddler Khu. So not Riddler Khu. Centro starts off very interesting. It looks like the Loyal 3 could be a new version of Ho-Ho and the legendary beasts but with Terrapagos. So then of course Soul Silver she, you know, pipes up and says desire, longing, and wish, they become what they imagined the best versions of themselves to be. Something helped their dreams come true. Also, I hope you all liked my final theory on them. Glad we got confirmation that they were once different, smaller Pokemon, but now, of course, they're bigger Pokemon. I've always kind of figured this because we never really got a reference to what was going on at that first part of the trailer with those 3 statues. So now we know that the Loyal 3 were like those Pokemon before, but then something happened and made their dreams come true, and they became the Pokemon that we see in the game. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So now there's supposedly a 4th one. Alright, so the 4th one is going to be representing Momotaro. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, Teal Mask is supposed to be loosely based around the Momotaro story. You know what I'm saying? A kid born from a peach, you know, goes off to fight an ogre to defend his village, and he meets 3 mythical creatures that help him out. One happened to be a dog, one happened to be a monkey, and one happened to be like a pheasant or some sort of bird. And thus, the loyal trio is what we got, you know. So of course, Centro pops in. The code name for the new Pokemon has been data mined, and it's Dokutado, which is poison plus Momotaro. And of course, the loyal trio is all, you know, partial poison types. You know what I'm saying? So of course, that's a connection there. So then Jan says there are some minor data mining stuff that Matt didn't mention, but we reported on Chinese social media. This one isn't too huge, but seemingly certain code names for Indigo Disc new Pokemon I've been seeing in the codes. That's Kodakami, which is Ancient Turtle, which is Terrapagos, and Dokotado, which is Poison plus Momotaro. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, are these two connected? Like, is Dokotado connected to Terrapagos, or is Dokotado the leader of the loyal trio? You know what I'm saying? Because I could definitely see that happening. Because remember, if you remember back in Generation 2, you know what I'm saying, with the legendary beast, right? You know, like Entei, Suicune, and Raikou. You know what I'm saying? Technically, Ho-Ho is like the leader of that trio, or kind of like how Regigigas is the leader of all the Regis. Well, maybe this Dokotado is the leader of the loyal trio, the kid to their, like, you know, 3 magical creatures type of situation. You know, another situation is that Terrapagos is the one that made their dreams come true, and that maybe the kid is part of this whole Terrapagos legend. Maybe the kid also wanted to be a Pokemon, or maybe the kid died and was brought back as a Pokemon, and that Terrapagos can bring people back to life. Hey, I'm just spitballing. It's possible, all right? You know what I'm saying? So, of course, Riddler Khu kind of confirms this by just posting a peach. You know what I'm saying? Then, of course, Uridin kind of colors it in because it looks like a pink Pokemon on a black face. But that's not really confirmed. But yeah, so that's about it. we got some pretty interesting stuff, to be honest. Like, I mean, Blueberry Academy looking like it's gonna be kind of lit. I'll admit that so far I haven't beaten Teal Mask yet, you know what I'm saying, but so far it's okay. I kind of wish it was bigger, but you know what I'm saying, this is half of a DLC, so it is what it is. Hopefully I can have up a whole review for it before the end of the week. Knock on wood. But that's about it for this. Like, comment, subscribe, and as always, people, keep it real.